I have done it. I have finally finished building the time machine. There it is in all its glory. Now, it might be a little bit late, but I'm here with Chuck today. He's going to actually film this. You recording, Chuck?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, he's going to film a little bit of a documentary. We're in the history books here, or we should be at least after we finish building this. We have invented time travel. This is absolutely amazing. The bad news is, sadly, that we are a little bit late. We are pretty much the last people on the truly Bedrock realm. Everyone has already gone off and getting ready for Season 1 if they haven't started already. Yeah, we're way late with this. I have built the entire thing myself, and it's taken me many iterations to get it right. I've built things up, I've knocked it down, I've built things up again. And in total, I'm running around about 4 weeks behind schedule, to be perfectly honest with you. So, fear not, I have a plan. We've got a working time machine behind us. I'm going to use it, but I'm no longer going to use it to go to Season 1. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm now actually going to use this to go back in time exactly 4 weeks to the point where we'd finished building this base here. So this is still here, but the time machine's not built yet because the base we built pretty quickly. The problem is the time machine. Building that all on my own and getting it wrong and fixing it and building it over and over again. Yeah, it took a long time. So yeah, by going back in time 4 weeks, I can help my past self build it again faster, and then we can actually get to Season 1 on time and before everyone else rather than being late. So that's the plan. So yeah, what we're going to do before we actually set this thing up and get it going is I'm going to give you a tour. I want to give you a tour of it and show you all how it all works. So follow me over to the purple plasma cannon, Chuck. The plasma cannon you can see behind me is actually powered by 5 beacons which shine through those 5 end crystals, and what that does is it channels all of the dimensional power from the end dimension out through the beams of the beacons and up into the plasma cannon at the top. It gets converted into light energy, and then that light energy gets shot across into that time crystal up there, creating basically a ball of time energy, or at least a ball of dimensional energy from that one. So that's plasma cannon number 1. Over there, we've got plasma cannon number 2. So let's head that way. Behind me, you'll see the green and blue plasma cannon up there, which is actually channeling gemstone energy from those emeralds and lapis blocks. Again, another 5 beacons shine up through those blocks into the plasma cannon at the top, and that's going to shoot basically time energy across to that. And the way we get the time energy, if you consider gemstones, they're basically stones that have been in the world for millions and millions of years, and they've been pretty much around as long as the world has. We can actually use carbon dating to date those and manipulate that data in order to actually determine when we're going to be going. So with the combination of the dimensional energy combined with the time energy, the time crystal in the middle will become an incredibly unstable mesh of time and dimensional energy, which, if left unstabilized, could probably implode the entire world and destroy the universe. Which brings us nicely on to the third plasma cannon, which you've got just over here. So what this third plasma cannon actually does, it's not generating power as such, but it's using something I like to call super redstone to actually stabilize the reaction. This is effectively acting as a bit of a catalyst. It's containing the reaction into a sphere and stopping it spread from somewhere else. Without this, the entire thing would just be completely unstable, completely lethal, and we probably wouldn't be able to use it. And the way we get the super redstone, if you look behind me, we have a tower which is basically boiling and smelting slime blocks and redstone and combining them together in a superheated fusion of super redstone, which itself is incredibly unstable. If you follow me around to the other side, you'll see we also have a cooling tower over here. You got a good angle on that, Chuck?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so behind me you can see we've got a cooling tower here, which basically contains extremely cold coolant. You can see it's actually freezing its way through the structure itself, which is being pumped into this containment jar over here, and the super redstone is also being pumped into there and frozen into super redstone blocks. And now it does look incredibly like standard redstone, but it's not. It's incredibly lethal, and if we weren't super cooling it using the coolant tower, it would just literally explode at room temperature. So we got to keep it cooled, and by pumping that through into the third plasma cannon, we can shine that up into the time crystal, stabilizing the reaction and stopping the whole thing going off. Now you can see we don't actually have a great deal of it contained at the moment, and that's because it's incredibly rare. In order to make this, we actually have to smelt 64 blocks of redstone and 64 blocks of slime blocks just to get one piece of super redstone. So considering it uses probably, I don't know, maybe 100 of these per time travel, that's going to run out very quickly, and it's going to take a long time to gather more. So I would say with that amount there, we've probably got 1, maybe 2 trips through the time machine if we absolutely need to, which is why we're not going to do any trials first. Okay, are you still following me, Chuck?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, the next thing then, if we head over in this direction. Okay, behind me you'll see that the final ingredient to this entire machine, you might recognize it from some of the other members' videos. It is, of course, Zloy's giant trident that he got from the giant drown that he captured. Now, we're using this in order to channel lightning. We need a lightning storm in order to work this time machine. We're going to channel lightning from the trident over to the time crystal, which will be full of time energy at that particular time. Yeah, that's going to create a reaction that sparks time energy down onto this here time capsule here. So I'll be standing inside this time capsule like this with all of my stuff. When the lightning hits the top, I'm going to be safe inside. Time energy is going to seep into me, transporting me instantly into the other time, or 4 weeks into the past as it's going to be for here. We've only just acquired this trident. We need to use it quickly before it gets retaken by Zloy and Silent Whisper, so I suggest there is no time like the present to use this time machine to go back in time to help my past self, or myself, I guess, build this time machine faster. Let's do this, Chuck. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Good. Let's go. There's one very last thing to show you before we get this show on the road, and that is the control system. We have quite an advanced control system here. So we've got 3 levers here which activate each of the beacons. If we turn on the super redstone beacon at the moment, you will see a beam of light shooting up into the time crystal there, red light. If we can turn that off again, we don't want to be wasting any of that stuff. On this side, we got a lever that activates the beacons for the end dimension cannon. And we also have a dial here that we can spin round to turn on all of the individual beacons. Same thing on this side here. We have an emerald to signify the gemstone cannon. We can flick the whole thing on with that one there, and then we can turn up the beacons one by one with that. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we do not flick either of those levers and turn those dials without the super coolant redstone on. Otherwise, the entire thing will probably explode and take the world with it. The final thing, the very, very last thing, is what I like to call the time circuits, because that's what they called it in Back to the Future. Basically, what we do is we get a book and quill like this. We write in the book and quill what date we want to go. We pop it on there, and that has got fancy redstone all underneath it, which tells the gemstone cannon what day, month, and year we want to go to. To input the date into this, all you got to do is add it into the book, and then yeah, let's start this thing, I guess. Are you ready, Chuck?
Yeah.
Okay, Chuck, so you get yourself set up in the control room. I'm just going to do a quick once over on all of my items and everything, make sure I've got everything, and then we'll get going. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Okay, so before we go, we just want to have a quick look in this chest here. This is all of the stuff I'm going to be taking with me. Obviously, I'm going to be putting my armor on. So let's do that quickly, like so. And I'm going to keep a pickaxe, and I'm going to carry as many of these boxes as possible. This is basically everything out of my ender chest. We're not going to be able to take my ender chest with us because that is linked to the world and not the realm. So I'm only going to be able to take things with me that are in my inventory. So I'm going to take all of that. I'm going to go and stand inside the time capsule, and I'm going to give Chuck the instructions on how to set this thing up. Okay, so you might be thinking, hey, FoxyNoTail, there's no lightning storm at the moment, or no thunderstorm at the moment. How are you going to get lightning to strike that trident to activate this thing? Well, I have actually tested this machine once before. Very, very briefly, I went forward into the future by just a day to make sure it would work. And when I got there, believe it or not, it was actually thundering and lightning. So I know that today it's going to start thundering and lightning in about 5 seconds. So let's just see, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Look at that. That's amazing. Right. Oh, I've chucked my pickaxe down. Right on schedule. Okay. Are you ready to start moving this thing up, Chuck?
Yeah.
Are the time circuits set to exactly 4 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Good, okay. In that case, start the super redstone beam. Okay, that's working, Chuck. Now start the plasma cannon number 1, okay? Turn it on and start turning up the power slowly. Should see each beacon going on one by one as Chuck turns this thing on. There's one. Let's hope these come on relatively quickly. We are burning through that super cool redstone. 3, 4. We should get 5 altogether as they come through. There we go. We've got 5. Okay, Chuck, you're doing great. Now I need you to turn on the gemstone cannon. You should see exactly the same thing happen with this cannon. Got 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, there we go. They're all on. We are now at full power. Okay, Chuck,